Hey friends, one of the most common struggles I hear from beginners is, I don't know what to practice. So I'm going to give you some suggestions today. First of all, what we want to do is make sure our ukulele is tuned. Should sound like that. Another thing that you can do at the beginning is just do some finger stretches and warm-ups. Stretch those hands, stretch those wrists, those fingers. Do any hand exercises that feel good to you. I do have a little video on that I can link down in the description of this video. Now, the first thing that we can do when we practice is to practice a scale. And this is helpful because it helps us with finger dexterity. It helps us to get practice pressing the frets in that perfect way so that we can produce nice, clear sounds. And it helps train our ears to know what scales sound like and just about different musical pitches and the distances between them. So let's go over the C major scale. I do have a video on how to play the C major scale, which I'll link down in the description of this video, but here it goes. So ideally, you want to play that over and over and over until you have it memorized, so that when you're practicing, you don't need to get your paper and look at it. But at the beginning, of course, you can look at your paper and see how it goes. There's also minor scales, different major scales, the pentatonic scale. There's just a lot of different scales you can practice. And so that's one thing that you can start with. Another thing that you can do while you practice is to pick a chord progression and just do nice, even, steady strums. So let's take the chord progression C, F add 9 or F, A minor or A minor 7, and G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So take a look at the songs that you are playing or wanting to play and see what chords are in that song, and pay attention to which chord transitions to the next chord, and then write those down and then practice transitioning between those chords. So if a song has G and then D and then E minor, then practice switching back and forth between those chords. G, whatever. It can be any set of chords, and as a bonus, you can put on a metronome to help you keep in time. And this will help train you to keep on tempo when you're playing a song. The more you practice with the metronome, the better. The next thing that you can do is practice a finger picking pattern. One of my favorite ones is going G, C, E, and A together, and then C again. So like this. Practicing finger picking patterns, you can just practice them with open strings, just to develop that muscle memory. The more you do this, the easier it's going to become and the more natural it's going to become, and you won't even have to think about it. Then, once you feel comfortable with that finger picking pattern, you can add in some chords, and then you're practicing finger picking and transitioning between chords at the same time. And then, of course, you can go on to the songs you're learning. I like to go over all of the old songs that I know. Well, not all of them because there's quite a few, but I like to go over songs that I've already learned to keep them fresh in my muscle memory and in my mind. And I also like to learn new songs because that keeps things interesting. So maybe have a list near your practice area of songs you want to learn. And then whenever you're feeling a bit bored with your current set of songs, you can go and look up a new song. If you come to a tricky part in your song, make sure to isolate that part and practice it slowly a few times, actually many times, until you can do it well. And that means going as slowly as you need to. Go slowly and repeat it slowly over and over and over. Once you can do it slowly, then speed it up. And then once you can do it well sped up, then go through the song again. If you come to a tricky part in a song, don't just start over and then get back to that tricky part and have the same problem. We need to work through the tricky parts first before we incorporate them back into the song, or else we just keep getting frustrated. These are just a few suggestions I have. There's no one right way to do a practice session. It's just whatever feels good and feels fun to you. That's what you should focus on, what feels fun and what feels good. But those are just a few suggestions and ideas to get you started. I also like to use a practice schedule, and you can get one on my website. I will put that in the description of this video. It's a little daily tracker that you can check off, and I really recommend practicing for 5 minutes a day or more, but start with 5 minutes because 5 minutes is doable for everyone, and it's easy for us to say, oh, I'm just gonna practice for 5 minutes. And on the other hand, if we say, oh man, I don't have 1 hour to practice today, so I'm not gonna practice at all, then we end up not practicing for weeks on end. So start with just 5 minutes a day, and even if you practice just 5 minutes a day, you will see progress. The key is consistency. Let me know if you have a practice routine or if there's something that you like to do during your practice session. Let's help each other out and give each other some more ideas. And let me know if this video was helpful for you.